It was the late 60s, and the summer of love was in full swing. Hippie fashion filled the streets, and the smell of cannabis filled the air. And the neighborhood of Haight-Ashbury, San Francisco, became the center of it all.
To be a clean living working American with a house payment who trusted the government abruptly became the epitome of square, at least in the eyes of a rebellious younger generation. What had gotten into these kids anyway? Weren't they supposed to be in school? Instead, they were everywhere, dancing to rock and roll music, indulging in odd and frivolous behavior, and showing disrespect for the norms of society. In the Haight-Ashbury district, the dropout generation openly smoked illegal substances, threatened to make love instead of war, and made it known that they trusted no one over 30.
Haight-Ashbury is where you wanted to be if you wanted to tune in and drop out. It was the one place in the country where you could just get high and flaunt it in public. And over a half a century later, San Francisco's hippie generation gave birth to this.
Excuse me, ma'am, you know there's a drug rehab right here, right? Yeah. Can you use the drug somewhere else? She got a meth pipe in her hand. Well, you need to stop your drug habit. Maybe you wouldn't get evicted. Come on, man. You got to go do that somewhere else, bro. Come on, man. Get up with that bro. You out in front of a building right now. This is where people live. We got this business we're trying to run here, and you guys are kind of making it look kind of bad over here. So you guys clean it up a little bit and go somewhere else with this stuff? Because it's getting a little out of hand now.
To be fair, the hippies weren't all that bad. But their paradise, San Francisco, is now decayed into an American crisis. The city by the bay is turning people into monsters.
You painting with whiteout? What is that? What are you painting? You painting your face with whiteout? That's crazy. Is that whiteout lipstick? Hey, buddy. Why are you rubbing dirt on your face, man? What's up with the bag on the head? What is that a new phenomenon?
No, what's the matter with the bag head?
It's what you call a San Francisco dirt facial. This is obviously more than just a drug problem. There's something funky in the air. I think the city's possessed.
Get away from my son. Get away from my son! Get away from my son, you sack of. Hey, blonde. Hey, Jeffrey's buddy. He's a dead on the ground right now because you're a stupid Patrice. Get the away from me. Hey, money hungry. I killed your children. Get away from me.
She just a. You need to do your job.
Demons are taking over the city of San Francisco, and there's only one way to deal with demons.
The power of Christ compels you. The power of Christ compels you.
San Francisco needs an exorcism. We wish it didn't have to come to this, but it does. So we're calling on all exorcists to visit the city and work your magic. The city needs saving, and San Francisco politicians aren't even trying. The sick thing is San Francisco is making money off these demons. The more drugs, crime, and homelessness, the more money gets spent.
It's a corrupt system, starting from the Homeless Coalition, starting from the Department of Public Health. It's all corrupt. The Homeless Coalition, they only comes around when they do their sweeps, when the city want to do a sweep. Other than that, I can sit right there and ask plenty of individuals in front of the Homeless Coalition, have you ever heard of the coalition? They say no. They say no. Have they ever spoke to you? They say no.
San Francisco is hooking citizens on drugs on purpose. Instead of rehab, San Francisco is legalizing shrooms, handing out Narcan, building injection sites. The more drug addicts, the more money the city council sends to nonprofits. And then the nonprofits use the money to help addicts get high. And then they pocket the rest. Addicts now think fentanyl's the cure to cancer. Listen.
Doctors ever come out here to talk to you?
No, I shouldn't be talking to my doctors because they tried to put me like in the freaking psych ward permanently because of Prince Edward being switched backwards, I think. Actually, fentanyl is my medication. I have cancer, apparently. And so my medication had been promised to me from China because they realized that my first lifeline was actually crisscrossed.
San Francisco is given Satan sanctuary. He can stay there forever. No one's going to touch him. You can be a schizophrenic drug addict. San Francisco encourages it.
You seem like you loaded right now.
Yeah.
What you want?
Some shrooms and I smoke some weed.
Some shrooms and some weed?
Yeah.
The shrooms? You're too young to be getting high.
Even though I'm autistic and schizophrenic, they said I'm not crazy enough to be in a mental hospital.
What other kind of drugs you use?
Ecstasy, coke, and weed.
Brother, you have a lot to learn, and this ain't the right way to learn it, and this street life ain't to be learned.
What do you think happens when drug tourists flood the city with cash? A bunch of strange zombies wandering the streets looking for a dealer at night. They'll do anything for a hit. Well, the criminal element metastasizes and takes over, and you get absolute carnage. And since San Francisco doesn't prosecute most crime, doesn't prosecute drugs, homelessness, immigration violations, the city's just giving license to anarchy. And if you live there, you can't escape. Just take a look at what happened to San Francisco's former fire commissioner, who was brutally beaten with a crowbar this week. He was just minding his own business when outside of his mom's house, he got whacked in the head.
Friends identified the victim as Don Carmignani, a former San Francisco fire commissioner. He suffered a fractured skull, broken jaw, and lots of lacerations to his face and head. Friends say Carmignani showed up to his mother's place after they refused to move. Soon they picked up and put down near the corner laundromat. Carmignani confronted them, and that, they say, is what provoked the brutal beating.
When Don came, he asked them to leave, and he was blindsided by a metal pipe to the head.
So it's not safe for the fire commissioner. It's not safe for the tech billionaires. Definitely not safe for Paulie P. It's not safe for business. You ready? Whole Foods in San Francisco, downtown, their flagship store right on Market Street, was just forced to shut down just 1 year after opening. They say it's unsafe for workers. There's needles in the produce section, drug pipes in the fair trade coffee beans. You can't even get organic coconuts without being assaulted by a hostile transgender shopper. The Whole Food bathrooms are like a Wuhan wet market. Vagrants steal $500 worth of grass-fed ribeyes. They don't get prosecuted. And you know how San Francisco banned plastic bags? And you have to buy the bags they have there for like $5 a bag. They stole all those too. So you can't get a bag. Now you have to carry your produce out of the store with your arms like this. Good luck going 10 yards down the street without getting jacked for your arugula. You can't even get a probiotic smoothie without getting whacked in the head with a crowbar. So whose fault's this? I blame the voters of San Francisco. They can kick out their politicians, get new ones whenever they want, but they don't. The politicians would rather fund reparations than fund the police. And the press, they keep asking Gavin Newsom about what's happening in Tallahassee instead of what's happening in San Francisco. Exorcise those demons, people. Cleanse your soul.